Remember the days where our worries were the Twilight Saga ending, a new album from One Direction, finding out who A was, and learning how to do the Katniss braid to be the it girl at school. Oh, those glory days. Back when I didn't have to get a job and just cry in my room because One Direction would never come to my country. And now I will never see them live. Since the new Hunger Games movie is coming out this month, The Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes, a lot of people are talking about the Hunger Games. It's like a renaissance of the Hunger Games. And I was not gonna be left behind because I was a huge Hunger Games girly back in the day. The books actually became some of my favorite books alongside Percy Jackson. I'm only going to be recapping the movies because I'm too lazy to read the books. Even though they were my favorites and I read them like 5 times, like I don't want to put myself through that pain. The movies were enough. So I feel weird when a side part. I haven't done one since I was like 15 and I find myself so weird having these. Like, what the fuck is this? It's commitment to the job. Do you see me? I'm not gonna whistle again because I cannot whistle. Okay, so let's start with the video. Oh yeah, my name is Sofia. Welcome to my channel and I hope you like this video. I hope you subscribe and yeah, so let's start. The movie starts with our lovely Prim screaming because she got a nightmare where she was picked to be a tribute in the Hunger Games. Katniss calms her down, saying it was almost impossible since her name was in the bold ones. Katniss wants to cook the cat and we're introduced to Gale. Ew! We don't like Gale. We don't support Gale. She goes to the market to trade whatever she hunted for food, where an old lady gives her the mockingjay pen. If I'm not mistaken, in the books, it was given by the daughter of the mayor after Katniss volunteered to be in the games or something like that. Like, I don't think it was from a lady from the market, but anyway. It's the day of the reaping.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And may the odds be ever in your favor.
That phrase is a phrase that you will never forget. It's like the after all this time, always. It's like those phrases that you will never forget. Prim is chosen by Katniss. I volunteer! I volunteer! Jennifer Lawrence left her whole life into that performance. That's the highlight of the movie. She should have gotten a freaking Oscar. So Katniss is our female tribute and our male tribute is our baker boy.
I work in a bakery.
Peeta Mellark. We meet Haymitch, their mentor, who constantly tells Katniss to be nice. And obviously, she doesn't listen. And we also meet Sina, who puts them in beautiful costumes that turn on fire. And Katniss and Peeta hold hands. On Katniss' individual assignment, she shoots an arrow at the pig since no one was paying attention at her. My respects. After the interview with Caesar, Katniss almost kills Peeta for saying in live television that he has a crush on her. Peeta, I think that qualifies as a red flag. But we're gonna ignore it. And Haymitch reinforces the idea to pretend to be lovers so people have empathy for them. I don't think Peeta's pretending. I mean, he burned bread on purpose, knowing that his mom would be furious because it was supposed to be for the pigs so they can eat them later. But he tells it to Katniss, who was outside in the pouring rain. And that was true love. So the game starts, and in the first few seconds, everybody is attacking each other. This part of the movie is so brutal for me. Like, we see the people attacking each other, but we don't hear the attacking. We only see it. And the music and the ambience, the fear, the brutality of the games is like, whoa. And then the sound when someone dies, it breaks me. Because also you don't really know who dies until like at night, where they do like this memorial of who died. Katniss feels betrayed when she sees Peeta making an alliance with Cato and the other tributes, and when she's on top of a tree because she's surrounded by them and they're waiting for her to come down. Rue tells her to cut the nest of trackerjackers, a very lethal wasp, onto the tributes were sleeping so she could escape. Because she got bit by some of the wasps, she had hallucination, and our sweet little Rue took care of her. By the way, those wasps, they can literally kill you. If they don't kill you, they cause hallucinations. Like, you don't play with those wasps. So Katniss and Rue make an alliance and they take care of each other. And the first time that they separated because they need to find food, Rue gets caught in a trap, and when Katniss saves her, another tribute kills Rue. No matter how many times I watch this movie, Rue's death will always takes me out. And the fact that Katniss made a funeral for her, I can't. Katniss goes to find Peeta, who is hiding in the rocks. And when I saw that he's hiding in the rocks, he's not like behind a rock trying to not be seen. He's literally within the rocks. He painted himself to camouflage within the rocks. That is scene when we see him camouflage will never not be funny. He's like baker during the day, makeup artist during the night, a man of many talents. They start taking care of each other and they kiss. Now it's only them and Cato. The game maker launched some dogs, very, very angry dogs, and Bloody Cato. That image of him with all the blood in his face will never leave my mind, will never leave my nightmares. And somehow he's dead. I don't remember exactly how it happens. He's dead. The dogs eat him. So it's now up to them, up to Katniss and Peeta. And obviously they don't want to kill each other. They want to either survive together or die together. So they decide to sacrifice themselves with berries. And just when they're about to eat them, the dude with the weird beard design stops the game and announces both of them as the winners. It starts when Candice and Gale hunting before the Victor store. She's dealing with some PTSD from the games, and Gale kisses her after she says that kissing Peeta was an act. Ouch. That was the third time my heart broke during this saga. The first time when Prim was picked to be in the games. The second one, Rue's death. And now this, she doesn't know what she wants. Snow goes to see Katniss. He turns her about starting a war, and people think that the berries was an act of defiance against the Capitol, not an act of love. So he wants her to convince him that she truly loves Peeta. Peeta is hurt, and so am I, since Katniss is sort of ignoring him and only talking to him in public and pretending to like him in public, and he wants to be friends. During their tour in District 11, Katniss talks about Rue, and a man does it. No, whistle, can I fucking stop? And gets killed by the peacemakers. Isn't it ironic that they're called peacemakers? Because they don't make peace. We learned that the dude with the weird bird design was killed because he let both of them win. Katniss asks Gale to run away, but he refuses because he's excited that people are finally fighting back. And Snow orders these peacemakers to destroy the markets and broadcast the torture on the people to shift people's opinions on Katniss. And Gale gets whipped when he tries to save a person from being killed. The 75th games are announced, and it's going to be victors only. Why is she kissing Gale? Like, I know he's about to die, but like, why are you kissing him? Stop. In the Capitol, with another amazing fire costume from Senna, we meet Finnick, who is eating a sugar cube, and we meet Joanna, who strips down in the elevator. Katniss' reaction will never not be funny. We meet the new game maker, Plutarch, who will be more important later, but we learned that he volunteered for the job and gave Snow the idea of the 75th games. Peeta tells in live television that Katniss is pregnant, so they could cancel the games, but I guess the Capitol doesn't fucking care. The Capitol is like, okay, so more people to kill. Seconds before the game starts, they kill Cinna right in front of Katniss, and Finnick, Max, Peeta, and Katniss are allies. A deadly fog is released, and Max sacrificed herself so Peter could leave since he needed Finnick to carry him. I also need Finnick to carry me. And that also was kind of heartbreaking because like she knew that she was not gonna survive the games. So it was just a matter of time when someone kills her or they have to run and she can. But that still makes me feel really bad for her. After some time, Joanna finds them. Oh, and during the games, like there's like a lightning hitting the same tree over and over again. There's a deadly fog, there's monkeys, there's a lot of shit happening. And we find Joanna, who is Wimbidi and Wire, only because Katniss wanted them as allies. So in order for Joanna to be an ally of Katniss, she had to bring them to her. And Wire realizes that the game is a clock, that at every hour something happens, and Plutarch turns the clock as soon as they figure it out. I thought he was in our side. They make a plan. They tie coil to the tree where the lightning hits and cover it with water to shut down the power at the Capitol. Peeta and Katniss sense that something is off when they want them to separate. Katniss goes with Joanna, who hits her and takes out the tracker. Katniss finds Vidi on the floor and she's desperately looking for Peeta. Since she doesn't know what is happening, she doesn't know that everything is part of a plan that she was just left out on. She thinks that Joanna tried to kill her. So now she's hearing the bomb drop several times, so she thinks that Peeta might not be alive, and she doesn't trust the rest of the tributes. So she's about to kill Finnick because she doesn't know that it was all a plan to escape, and she doesn't trust anyone anymore. Well, did she ever did? Katniss attaches the coil to the arrow and shoots the electric fence as the lightning hits. Katniss wakes up next to an unconscious Beetee and she attacks Haymitch. Just because. Plutarch explains the plan, that they were always going to get her out. It's the start of the revolution, you're the Mockingjay, and we are on our way to District 13. They tell her that Peeta was captured by the Capitol alongside with Joanna because they still had their tracker on. That's why Joanna attacked her. She took out her tracker so they could escape because that was the main goal. Take Katniss out of the games. Gale tells Katniss that after the game, aircraft bombed the district and District 12 doesn't exist anymore. A core memory when the Hunger Games came out is that I was in my room with my friends and they put on the Hunger Games DVD. I was a Twilight fan back then. Important to mention that. And I pretended I didn't like it. I said that Kristen Stewart's acting was better than Jennifer Lawrence. I was delusional. Then I decided to give them a chance because people will not stop talking about the Hunger Games. So I felt very left out. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to read the books and I enjoy them. Actually, I really, really like them because I was never able to finish the Twilight books. So that I had to stop lying to myself, saying that Twilight was better. And then Catherine Fire came out and I was like, yep, 100% better than Twilight. Katniss is having a hard time dealing with PTSD and leaving Peeta behind. She meets President Coin of District 13, who believes that they can unify with the districts and take Snow down. Katniss is very angry that they left Peeta and refuses to cooperate. So they let her see District 12, which is completely destroyed, to remind her who the real enemy is. The only living thing left is a cat that Katniss hates. So she brings it back to Prim and she finds a white rose in her house. Do you know how cynical or cruel you have to be that you destroy an entire district to go into Katniss' house to leave a rose in the table? Like, she already knows it was you, Snow. You didn't have to like reinforce it. Like, just in case she doesn't know I did this. We finally see Peeta in an interview with Caesar, which doesn't look like the Peeta that we know and love. He sounds brainwashed, but defends Katniss when Caesar claims that Katniss is part of the rebel group and planned everything, and he asks for ceasefire, which District 13 is not really happy about that. Katniss makes a deal with Coin to be the mockingjay, the face of the revolution, in exchange of bringing the other tributes to District 13, Peeta, Joanna, and Annie. I barely mentioned Effie in the entire recap because I don't really have much to say about Effie except that I love her. And seeing her without makeup and wigs, and it's kind of shocking. Like, I don't really feel bad for her because obviously she's from like the privileged capital group, so it's like, yeah, I don't really have empathy for you. But I still really love her, and it was really shocking to see her like that. Anyway, the Capitol bombs District 8 during Katniss' visit alongside the unit from District 13. You know, Gale, Gerwin, the head tattoo, and other. I didn't bother to learn their names until like Mockingjay Part 2 because I didn't realize that I had to mention them until like Mockingjay Part 2. So yeah, did not bother learning their names. In another interview with Caesar, Peeta has changed a lot, and he says that Katniss is being forced by the rebels and asks her to stop the war. And let's say that everybody's mad at Peeta, including Gale, including Coin, including like everybody's mad at him. And only Katniss and myself, because I see it too, sees the pain that he's being put through. They go back to District 12, where Gale breaks down narrating how it went down, how he wishes he could have saved more people, and Katniss kisses him. How many times did they actually kiss in the books? Because I don't remember that many kisses in the book. Like, I understand that she doesn't know who she loves, like she's navigating, she's finding herself out. She doesn't know if she loves him as a friend or more than that. And then she has her feelings with Peeta, so I can understand that she's kind of confused. But why do they kiss so many times in the movies?
Are you coming to the strange things that happen here? No stranger would it.
That's above. People hated it. I remember there was a time where people were like, "Oh my god, why is she singing?" I'm like, don't let her stop. People attacked the hydroelectric dam in District 5, leaving the capital without power, which is important from District 13 because that's their way into the capital. During another Jet interview with Caesar, the capital is still using Peeta as a toy to taunt Katniss, and Beatty manages to show footage from District 12, and Peeta cries because he didn't know any of that. He didn't know that happened. Plus, his family is not even alive anymore. His family didn't survive. The capital is attacking District 13, and once it's over, Katniss sees the ground filled with white roses and realizes that Snow is going to kill Peeta. While District 13 is breaking into the capital, Finnick is broadcasting all the lies about the capital and Snow. He tells the moment you survive the arena, you become a slave. If the victor was attractive, Snow gives them as rewards or allows people to buy them. If they refuse, someone they love is killed. He found out Snow kept the job by using poison. He stopped every immunity before it even started. Snow drinks from the same cup to deflect suspicion, but since antidotes don't always work, he uses roses to camouflage the smell of blood. Katniss speaks to Snow to stall, but he already knows that District 13 is entering the capital, and Katniss is scared that she lost both Peeta and Gale. I mean, Gale, we can lose him. Like we don't need him. He can die. I don't care. The soldiers from District 13 succeed and rescue the tributes. Annie and Finnick are happy and kissing. Joanna is bold. And Peeta tries to kill Katniss. That's what I call true love. He really must love her. Turns out the capital used Striker Jacker venom to torture Peeta, and they changed his memories of Katniss to make her seem life-threatening. They turn him into a weapon to kill her. The movie ends with Coin giving a victory speech and Katniss seeing Peeta tied to a bed trying to break free. Prim goes to see Peeta to see his reaction, but he's still brainwashed into killing Katniss. Another kiss from Gale. Can they fucking stop? They go to District 2 to gain more allies, and Katniss is shot when she's finishing her speech. Katniss goes to see Peeta. He remembers the time he tossed her the bread, but he doesn't remember why he did it, and thinks that he could have saved himself from trouble if he had just given it to the pigs like he was supposed to do. Well, Peter, you did it because you love her. You don't want her to starve to death. That's why you fucking did it. You love her, okay? Finnick and Annie get married. Katniss tells Joanna that she's going to kill Snow. I wish that Joanna had more part in Mockingjay or like in Catching Fire and Mockingjay, because I really loved her and I wish we had seen more from her. Katniss sneaks into the aircraft and makes it to the Capitol. Coin is mad that Katniss doesn't follow orders. She only wants her to show up when they win the war, and Coin is taking credit of every move that Katniss makes. Peeta arrives in the scene and Katniss asks Bugs, the guy who is in charge, why Coin brought him there, and he admits that Coin always wanted to save him. She likes having people that she can control and sees Katniss as a threat because they want free elections, but Coin wants to be elected president and thinks people will want Katniss instead. Peeta is freaking out about not knowing what's real and what's not, and Finnick suggests him to just ask them because they're their friends, like they're not gonna lie to him. Bugs get shot and gives Katniss the Hollow. The Hollow is basically an iPad with a kid's protection case. Yeah, now that I'm seeing up close and personal, it does not look like a freaking iPad. I guess I better get my eyes checked. That kind of shows like a map of the Capitol and like where the surveillance cameras are and how they can get into the Capitol. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And he tells her that she can't trust them. Another thing is that I didn't mention this because I thought it was not important, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe I was just tired to type. One of the people in the unit tells Katniss to give her the Hollow, and Katniss is like, no, Bugs left it to me. And she tells them that she's in a secret mission from Coin. And everybody's like, okay, but that's a lie. She's not in any secret mission from Coin. She's on her own mission to kill Snow. One of the soldiers from the unit accidentally puts her foot in a trap that releases a black liquid, and Peeta starts attacking people without meaning to. He's not aware that he's doing that. They seek refuge, and Snow announces that Katniss is dead, but Coin interrupts him, presenting herself to Panem, and to show her appreciation to Katniss as the face of the rebellion. Like Finnick says, welcome to the 76 Hunger Games. Snow realizes that Katniss is alive when they catch her on some surveillance footage. Some weird-looking aliens are chasing them, and they kill Finnick. Why they didn't kill Gale? When they escape, Peeta starts freaking out, and Katniss kisses him and asks him to stay with her, and he says, always. I love it. They find refuge in a Tiger Girly store. Wait a second. Is her name Tigress? I'm reading the new book, The Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, and Cornelius Snow has a cousin named Tigress. Is that the same girlie, or am I tripping? Or am I just assuming that it's the same girlie because she looks like a freaking tiger? Katniss admits that she lied, that she wasn't in a secret mission from Coin, and the girl with the head tattoo is like, we know. Girlie, we know. You ain't fooling anybody. And Katniss eavesdrops Gale talking to Peeta, claiming that Katniss had never kissed him the way that she kissed Peeta. Can you stop kissing her now that you realize that she loves Peeta and not you, please? And should have volunteered in Peeta's place, but Peeta tells him that she would have never forgiven him if he did that because he needed to protect her family. Peeta wants to go with Katniss on her mission to Snow's mansion, but she doesn't want to lose him again, so she picks Gale instead. On their way, the rebels start shooting at civilians who were on their way to get refuge as Snow promised. The Capitol's aircraft drops bombs onto the civilians, and Primus there has a medic. Someone shoots fire, and she dies. Why? Why her? Why Finnick? Why not Gale? The rebels walk into the mansion when the bombs dropped and the fight was over. Katniss goes to the greenhouse where Snow grows his roses, and he tells her that he didn't release the parachute because he doesn't kill children. It was all Coin to make it seem like it was Snow, and she live streams it. Coin arranges a meeting with the remaining victors and she proclaims herself as interim president. She explains that they'll hold elections when the time is right and they're going to execute Snow that night and wants to hold a Hunger Games with the capital's children. And everybody's shocked, and so am I. So they decide with a vote, only Annie and Peter being against it. Later that night, Coin introduces herself as the interim president and leads Katniss to execute Snow, but how the turntable, she ends up killing Coin instead. I remember being so shocked when that happened, when I read the... But that was the right thing to do, because Coin was just going to be another... She was going to be another Snow, except that she was not really looking out for the benefit of the people. She was looking only for the benefit of herself. They take Katniss inside and people run to kill Snow. Plutarch left Katniss a note. It says that the districts will choose a free leader and they will arrange her exit from the capital and when the time is right. Because she killed a president, so obviously she's not exactly welcome into the capital, even though what she did was the right thing to do. She's like exiled from the capital, but when the time is right, they're gonna forgive her or something like that. I don't know. Effie says goodbye to Katniss and Haymitch because they're going home. When Katniss arrives at her house, she realizes that the freaking cat is still alive, and she breaks down crying because Prim isn't there anymore. And the cat reminds her of Prim. Peeta came home. Katniss' mom is a medic in the capital, and Gil is working as a captain to maintain security. The movie ends with Peeta asking Katniss, "You love me? Real or not real?" And she says, "Real." And fast forward to them having a family. And I cried. Okay, so this is it. That's my recap of the Hunger Games movie. I think I really enjoy the Hunger Games movies. I'm the type of girly that doesn't really like adaptations because, the book is always better. True in most cases, but not always the case. And I think that the Hunger Games was actually an adaptation that I really, really enjoyed. It was very fair to the books, and the things that they kind of left out from the books were things that didn't really affect the story, unlike when, things are happening in Harry Potter and etc. Comment down below which movie was your favorite one and which book was your favorite one. My favorite movie was Catching Fire. That's the one that I can go back and enjoy. I loved Catching Fire, but my favorite book is actually Mockingjay, because Mockingjay has everything that I love from a book. It makes me cry, it makes me laugh. I have anxiety about how everything is gonna turn out. And something that I really liked about the Hunger Games is that they were never scared to kill off a loved character. Comment down below which death affected you the most. To me, obviously Rue is like, I think it's number one in everybody's case. But the thing is, like, when Prim's dead, like, I had a sense that something was going to happen to her. Like, she was going to get tortured, she was going to die, because she was such a key part of the story. Like, the reason why Katniss became the Mockingjay was because of Prim, okay? So I knew something was going to happen to her. So when it eventually happened, besides, like, when it happened, it wasn't like a big deal. It wasn't like Fennec, like, she just, boom, died and move on, because Katniss was also affected by the fire. Yeah, so that one didn't affect me the most. I think Fennec's death affected me more than Prim's for some reason. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm thinking of doing a video about the ballads of songbirds and snakes, but that's gonna be once I watch the movie and some time has passed that we can safely talk about it with spoilers. So yeah, that's gonna happen. I don't know. I think that's gonna happen like 2024. I'm still making progress on reading Hush Hush. I'm in the third book, but yeah, that's gonna come sometime. Percy Jackson comes out in December, which obviously I'm gonna make at least one video about it. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys hopefully soon. Bye!